The island of New Guinea, a land of mystery and beauty that represents one of the last places on Earth where vast areas of tropical habitats remain intact. Huge tracts of lowland tropical rainforest give way to towering mountain ranges, reaching over 16,000 feet high. Along these slopes lie cloud-swept high-altitude forests, the tallest in the tropics. Along its coastlines are scattered archipelagos of islands, sheltering unique biodiversity both above and below the water. Hiding amongst the trees are species many of which can only be found in this island, including the extravagantly plumaged and unique birds of paradise. A lineage of people stretches back more than 50,000 years, making the culture of much of today's inhabitants of New Guinea among the most ancient on Earth. Yet despite surviving for millennia, the incredible forests, mountains and people of Western New Guinea now face an impending cataclysm of change. This film will take you through what could be Western New Guinea's crossroads of change. The western half of New Guinea, made up of the provinces of Papua and West Papua, is incorporated into the nation of Indonesia after control was seized by the Indonesian government in the 1960s. Today, it is administered by both federal and regional governments. Across Indonesia, a national agenda is being pursued of exploiting natural resources and land, with the government rolling out massive infrastructure projects in an attempt to boost national development. These have led to some severe consequences for the environment. Firmly within the scope of this agenda is Western New Guinea. A federal plan for a 4,000-kilometer development corridor will open up previously inaccessible regions for development and change. At the heart of this plan is a new road network named the Trans-Papuan Highway, already under construction. This will traverse the island from coast to coast and penetrate previously intact forest. While this network is being billed as being necessary to facilitate local economic growth, it will give unprecedented access for loggers, miners and plantation companies, largely owned by outside companies. New centres of deforestation are already opening up along the route of the highway, with vulnerable lowland peat forest in the southeast of the region being particularly threatened. As this valuable forest is cut down and replaced with the oil palm plantation, massive stores of carbon are being released into the atmosphere. Across Indonesia, peatlands store at least twice as much carbon as any other standing forest. If Papua's vast peatlands continue to disappear, the implications in the fight against climate change will be severe. The road network has also triggered a rush to secure valuable mining exploration concessions. Incredibly, these are being awarded even within the boundaries of one of Papua's most protected landscapes, the UNESCO World Heritage Site, Lorentz National Park. At 2.35 million hectares, this is the largest protected area in Southeast Asia and is the only protected area in the world to incorporate a continuous transit from snowcaps to tropical marine environment. Located at the meeting point of two colliding continental plates, the area has a complex geology with ongoing mountain formation, a high level of endemism, and the highest level of biodiversity in the region. Mining in Papua has led to massive environmental destruction, pollution and social unrest, and the proliferation of these concessions within the borders of Lorentz throw doubt on the future integrity of the park. In addition, another new zone of deforestation is opening up, this one within the borders of the park. Covering much of the upper reaches of Lorentz National Park are ancient forests of southern beech trees. Having survived since the time when dinosaurs walked the earth over 80 million years ago, these living fossils from the past face a new threat in New Guinea. A parasitic fungus, Phytophthora cinnamomi, against which the trees have little defense, has been introduced to New Guinea and is spreading rapidly. The cinnamomi fungus is causing massive dieback of the forest and threatens the only place in Southeast Asia where southern beech trees may be found. The introduction of this parasite may have been caused by road construction equipment and materials, which were imported from outside with no decontamination effort. Its proliferation is now unchecked and these forests could well vanish. As a result of the dieback caused by cinnamomi, road expansion and mining concessions. UNESCO is now considering redesignating Lawrence National Park as a World Heritage Site in danger. Ever since the western half of New Guinea was annexed to Indonesia in the 1960s, following a military-controlled referendum that was widely regarded as a sham, tensions have simmered between indigenous Papuans and non-native people. Most non-indigenous people on the island migrated to Papua from other regions of Indonesia in a state-sponsored transmigration program known as Transmigrasi. In 1971, 96% of people in West Papua were indigenous peoples. Today, it is less than half. Tensions between Papuans and the government have sometimes exploded into violence, often as a result of land grabs by agro-industrial development companies. Customary land claims of native Papuans are often overlooked, and as new regions of forest are made accessible by the road network, new tensions may be expected to emerge. Regardless of how the economic development corridor is perceived, it is without doubt that it will precipitate massive change within Papua. Sadly, the most likely outcome of this plan is that new frontiers of deforestation will continue to expand. Peatlands will be converted to monoculture plantations, releasing catastrophic levels of greenhouse gases. Mountains will be stripped bare for mining, and tensions between local and non-indigenous people will be exacerbated. A national agenda has called local administrations poorly prepared. In order to minimize the negative impacts, there are certain actions which could strengthen conservation and development planning along the corridor. The extent of peatland conversion should be immediately reassessed across southeast Papua, which is in contradiction to Indonesia's national peatland protection and carbon emission goals. Currently, the Indonesian government has committed to reducing greenhouse gases by 29 to 41% by the year 2030. As deforestation, particularly of peatland forests, accounts for up to 63% of Indonesia's carbon emissions, these forests are key to meeting its goals. Agro-industrial development in eastern Papua has been characterized as land grabs. Currently, customary land claims by local people in Papua are drastically underrepresented in comparison to other areas in Indonesia. An enhanced preemptive mechanism for addressing customary claims along the economic corridor should be considered a key priority. Mining in Lawrence National Park is perhaps the most stark contradiction in preserving Papua's natural heritage. This World Heritage Site is listed as 13th among 173,000 protected areas in the globe in terms of uniqueness and vulnerability of its wildlife. Concessions within the park undermine confidence that Lawrence will remain intact and should be nullified. Conservation and development in Papua are poised to shift dramatically with the development of the Trans-Papua Corridor. Regional plans that might address ensuing environmental and social dynamics remain reactive rather than proactive. Some corridor segments have dubious merit and should be reconsidered, while others may be managed with improved planning, particularly that focus on peatland conservation and customary land exploitation. New Guinea has survived for millennia as a land of unrivaled mystery and natural beauty. We are at a crossroads, where a national agenda could strip the western half of the island of all that makes it unique.